Hello, everybody. Right now, my ass is sweating like a motherfucker. But I'm not going to let that stop me from reviewing the season 3 finale of Halt and Catch Fire. If you didn't catch my last episode where I reviewed the first half of the season finale, maybe you'll finally get some context for why I'm so weird right now, because it's currently 1:20 a.m. and I only just now was able to finish watching the finale, and I just had to talk about it right now. It's way past my bedtime. If you want to get context for why I looked so if you want context for why I look so fucked up right now, please watch my review of Season 3, Episode 9. Anyways, let's not waste any time, because while I thought this, if the last episode, if Season 3, Episode 9 of Halt and Catch Fire was a 9 out of, I said it was a 10 out of 10. This was a 15 out of 10. This was even more perfect, even more special. I just love the whole setup, how when it opens in the old mutiny offices, and you can see like the fractured remains of the old glory days, and yet you can tell that Gordon and Donna and Cameron and Joe and Tom, they were all there together, all in that one room, trying to figure things out. But you can tell, even though they came up with a great idea of... by the way, full spoilers for this episode if you have not watched this episode yet. That's your spoiler warning. Anyways, this was... You can tell they were coming up with a good idea of wanting to create the world's first web browser. But you can tell it's like, even though they were trying to get there together, there were so many burned bridges that they couldn't ignore from their past. And there was so much symbolism in this episode between the things they were talking about, like starting over. Oh, it's going to be different this time. You keep talking about the future, but this future could be different together. All those different quotes were so good. And anyway, I've got my notes down on my phone right here, but so we're going to talk about them right now. Here we go. So, I already mentioned that Joe and Donna show up at the now abandoned mutiny offices waiting for Cameron, and then Cameron and Tom show up and Gordon arrive, and the thing that was funny is everyone had different ideas to draw on the whiteboard. It's like, that's not your marker. Give me that marker. Oh, you think this? No, it's this motherfucker. You think it's all these squares? No, it's one giant square. But then I really like how they kept arguing about the World Wide Web, and the one, and you know, it's funny how Donna says, "All right, everyone, let's just break for lunch," and then Tom says, "But it's 10:30 a.m. And it's funny because I don't know why, but Tom in this episode, Tom really made himself out to be a villain. I don't know why, but something about Tom's character really changed, where it felt like he was the smartass of the group. And because me and my mom, we watched these episodes together, we watched the show together, and he pointed that out. It's like, Tom's really arrogant. I don't like him now. And it was like, and my head was thinking, oh yeah, that's right. He's changed, and it's like he suspects something is going on between Joe and Cameron, and the thing that really set him off, and you could tell tension is brewing, and it escalated greatly this episode, was when after they took a break for the first time, and they all went around their separate old offices just talking to each other. Joe tells Tom, "I've been doing so much better since I reconnected with your wife." And when I heard that, when my ass heard that the first time, this is what it felt like when he says, when Joe told Tom, "I've been doing so much better since I reconnected with your wife." That was the mic drop to end all life. That was the mic drop to end all mic drops right there when he said that. Oh, that was so good. Anyways, so then, oh God. All right, 1:24 a.m. Let's keep going. So Joe talks about HTML and HTTP, and Tom says he's against the open source, and then he's backlashing against Joe, saying, well, it can't be open source. Look at what happened. Look at what happened in Macmillan Utility, motherfucker. Look at that. Essentially, that's what he was trying to say. And then the other thing that happened is you just hear all the symbolism in the world. Like I touched on this earlier, but it was so true. It's so brilliantly written. When Cameron says, "I don't want an overlord controlling over everything." That's why I hate. Why I don't want closed source, and you can tell that's symbolism for Donna. And then Joe says. And Cameron says, well, but you keep saying it's going to be the future. But then you see Joe looking at Cameron and saying, but this will be a different future. And it's like he's talking about him. It's like he's foreshadowing him and Cameron being in a relationship again. And the way the camera cuts between her and him, and then back to Tom looking at her and him. Oh, it's so good. And then... but then and then Joe said, and then Gordon says, yeah, but Joe and Donna, you're just the money people. Me and Cameron are the ones that are actually going to have to do the work. But then the other scene that I liked was when Cameron visits Bosworth for the first time since 1986, and we find out now that Bosworth is retired, and she's talking about, and the two of them are just shooting the shit, talking about what their plans are going to be like, and they just said, and I just thought that was such a great scene and a really good way to talk about Bosworth, and I hope that we get to see more of Boz in season 4. I guarantee we will see more of him, but he's retired now, so I'm just wondering what his role will be like in season 4. So anyway, I thought that was a great scene, and how fitting is it of a great scene that it ends with him talking to Cameron, the person that he thinks of as his daughter. So next up, so Donna and Gordon are in the house now for what looks like the first time in quite a while, and we see Donna, and then they start drinking wine together, they get drunk, and it was so funny saying that Gordon and Donna need to make a game. I'm sorry, I don't know who said it, but Gordon one of them tells the other, Tom and Cameron need to make a game about making light bulbs, but the light bulbs can't be turned on until you take a shit on them first. And then the name of the game is You're an Asshole. I thought that was fucking funny. Great line, Gordon. Or Donna, whoever the fuck said it. But then it's funny how quickly Donna just asks Gordon, are you having a ton of sex these days? And Gordon just says, yeah. Are you? And then Donna says, yeah. And then I just love how smoothly this transitions into Donna saying, there is this guy I want you to date, and he's speaking in code, referring to himself. And I thought, and it just, once again, symbolism is the name of the themes happening throughout this episode here, which is just so good. And then next up, Cameron, so then we cut to Cameron and Tom in the hotel room, and then we see Tom checking Cameron's, so Tom is using it saying, oh, I'm here to finish a presentation. And then we see Cameron's laptop with the battery being on low, and it's like we see all the symbolism in the world. What does this mean? It's like you're starting to see their marriage really start to fray, and you can start to see, ooh, I don't think these two are going to last much longer, because it's like a good book. I mean, just like the whole series, like a great book, you can see, like, you're close to the ending of the book, and you're just wondering, ooh, I wonder how this is going to turn out. So anyways, then we cut to Joe writing furiously on the whiteboard, and we're wondering, what's this crazy motherfucker up to? Is he going to, once again, be very devoted to creating something, and then never finish it, like he always did with all his other ideas? But then Joe comes up with that idea, which is to make a web browser. And he says, we don't have to tell the users what to do. We just build a door to let them see it. And that door is a web browser. So then, but the thing is, everyone agrees on it except for that arrogant, cocky-ass motherfucker Tom. But here's the thing. I don't think Tom is going to end up doing too well because guess what? He works at Sega. And you know what happened to Sega? They are a shadow of their former glory. Just like how Tom isn't currently a shadow of his former glory, and he just acts very bitterly. He just turned... I don't know why, but Tom nowadays, in this episode, they completely transformed his character arc, and now he just seems like a bitter, arrogant piece of shit now. I really started to dislike him. And the thing is, he just says, I don't see it. And then he says, all right, come on, Cam, let's go. And yet, Cameron is still there staying. And then says, and then Tom just says, all right, then, let's cut the shit. My problem with you, Joe, is because I don't want Cameron to turn into Ryan. And then he says, and then Joe says, don't you dare say his name one more time. And then he says, Ryan. And then he says, well, Joe's being sarcastic, and he says, well, Tom, luckily for you, wives don't get a vote, implying that Tom automatically thinks whatever he's gonna do, Cameron will follow, and then they end up fighting. And we haven't seen, I don't think we've seen an actual fist fight in this episode since Joe and Gordon were fighting each other in season 1 at the parking lot where you see Joe's shirt get torn open, and that's when you see all the scars on his chest for the first time. But then what happened is Joe falls through the creaky floors into the basement where all those servers used to be from Mutiny all those years ago, and Joe breaks his wrist. So then the funny thing is, then they're at the car, and Tom is asking Cameron, what happened to Comdex? Don't lie to me. And then he says, nothing happened at Comdex. But the thing is, Tom told Cameron the truth. He told her that he told her I was checking your emails just to see if you lied. I'm sorry. There shouldn't be any more secrets between us. But here it's like you can see, but it's right there. You can see. I can already see their marriage falling apart, where at the same time you can see Joe's connection to Cameron growing once again, like those old flames starting to spread back again. The symbolism is so good because you see Joe park his car too, and he said no hard feelings, but even though you damn know good and well the two of them still have hard feelings between each other, even though they try to shake each other's hand. So and that's the thing too, they didn't shake each other's hands because even though they probably on the outside it seemed like they wanted to shake each other's hands, they didn't, because you can tell deep down they really didn't. They still fucking hate each other's guts. So then, at the end of that, you see Cameron tell Donna she reveals her whole plan. She says, I only came here because I wanted to remember how much I hate you. And then she says, you just take everyone that's in your way and you want to always shove them aside. And then Donna just gets furious. Like you just see a switch turn. You just see a switch turn on, and she just goes to her car, sobs, because she thought she was going to go in there to Cameron. But you can tell the thing that Donna did was very fucked up to Cameron. And she still holds this grudge all these years later. And then she picks up and another reason we can tell that we're in the 90s, car phones. Anyways, so she says, call Switzerland. I want to call CERN. So it's like, oh shit, she's going to bring the web browser idea. So now it feels like, so now we're seeing what season 4 is like. It's going to be Joe and Cameron and Gordon versus Donna. So it's like Joe and Cameron and Gordon v. Donna. Dawn of season 4 of Halt and Catch Fire. So then the funny thing is, right when they're going to what it looks like they're going to access the World Wide Web or begin coding the first web browser or whatever the hell it is, you see Gordon, and I mean you see Joe say, Joe tells Gordon, "I'm in love with her," and we could already see that from Joe, and so I have a feeling, if you want my true prediction, it's going season 4 is the series finale, could be Joe and Cameron getting married. That's what I think might happen. Hell, it might even happen in the middle of season 4. So anyways, so Cameron tells him that Donna left, and then our season ends with our original 3 Musketeers from season 1, Joe, Gordon, and Cameron, just looking there, waiting to access the World Wide Web. And then we end with what I think is one of the greatest season finales I've ever seen. And you can already tell how much I love this. Like I've already spoken so much about how much I loved it, and I hope that, and once again, I want to apologize if my review, if I wasn't able to convey my thoughts clearly enough, but it's really late now, and my brain's going loopy, and but anyways, I wanted to get this because, guys, this is brilliant, and I'm glad, and I'm just happy that we're getting a 4th season of Halt and Catch Fire despite the plummeting ratings, and I'm just so happy that the creators are going to give our characters a proper ending, instead of AMC just canceling it and just saying nope, or AMC just canceling it and we don't get a proper ending. So I'm glad that we're going to get an ending, and to tell you the truth, it felt like I could tell even from after last week's episode, you could tell it felt like the ending was near, and I'm just glad. I'm so happy that this show is going to get the proper ending it deserves. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching if you've been watching my reviews of Halt and Catch Fire Season 3 from the beginning up until this point, thank you so much for watching, and hey, I will happily return and make reviews for Season 4 of Halt and Catch Fire. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. I'm MrGamingGuitarist. Please subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on future videos. And normally, I don't look this shitty. I look less shittier. And you can watch the N4G TV podcast, the podcast I host, which goes up every single week on the N4G TV YouTube channel, and I put out an EP, War of the Insides, 3 songs I made, which I'm proud of, which you can check out, and you can also support me on Patreon if I haven't scared you off already, which I would appreciate it. I would appreciate your support. Of course, you don't have to, but if you do decide to support me on Patreon, I would very much appreciate it. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'm gonna go to bed. Thank you, and good night.